In this episode, I install a UHF CB radio. We have an anti-flap kit installed on our awning. We sort out our clothes storage and find out why we celebrate with a cake.
Project for today is I'm going to be fitting a UHF radio into the Ram. It's just handy to have if you're driving along. You've got the van on the back, and then if a truck wants to get by or another caravan wants to come past us, you just get on the radio and have a chat and say, yeah, all right, I'll pull over, whatever, and then they can come past. So most caravans and trucks have them, and yeah, this one's pretty basic, but it'll do the job. UHF 390. Yeah, it comes with the antenna, which will go on the front of the bull bar here, and then I'll just run the cable through here, and I'll mount the actual talking bit on the inside of the car. So we'll see how I go with that. Well, I ran out of time the other day, so I'm back now having another bash at this UHF radio and antenna. It's been a bit of a mission, to be honest, mainly because I don't know what I'm doing, but anyway, I'll show you quickly just what I've done. I've mounted the antenna on, and the cable runs down into the bull bar here, and then underneath the car, and then comes up into the engine bay down there, and runs around here, and then all the way across the top there to the other side, to the driver's side, and then on the driver's side over here, I'll just show you down here and where the cable goes through. So it comes round here, down there, and then some other cables that just go through here. So I just put a small hole through that little rubber grommet, and then from there it goes through underneath the steering wheel. So yeah, that's where we're at now. That's the little receiver, and so I just need to mount that up somewhere, and then look at getting the power on and giving it a go, see if it works. So to power up the receiver, you get this cable, comes with it. One end has a couple of crimps on, so that will push into the receiver itself, and then you just feed the other cable round, and it's fused, and then it's got a couple of other bare wires. So what I'm thinking of doing is, because I don't want the receiver to be on all the time, connected directly to the battery. I could wire that directly into the battery, but then if I end up leaving the receiver on overnight or a couple of days, it's just going to constantly drain the battery. So what I want to do is connect this into a 12 volt, I've spotted this, it's got a 12 volt outlet here. So I'm thinking I'm going to get behind that. I've pulled out the glove box and some of the panels down there, so I can get behind that 12 volt outlet, find the cable for it, which is just around there, and then what I'll do is I'll crimp this end of the cable onto the back of that 12 volt outlet. So yeah, that should then power the receiver and we'll be good to go. So it's all mounted now and finished. I'll show you what I've done with the receiver and handpiece. I'll just swing you around here. So the handpiece is just mounted next to the steering wheel there, so it's nice and easy to just pull it off and grab it when I need. And then the receiver itself is down underneath the dash here, because all the buttons are on here on the handheld piece anyway. You don't need access to that receiver. So yeah, it's worked out quite nicely, quite neat and tidy, I reckon. And there's the receiver just mounted under the dash.
Alright, we got the van on the back and we are on our way to Pickering's Caravans to get our anti-flap kit properly fitted video, we realised unpacking it that it needed to be properly measured and fitted and with holes drilled into the van, which is not something we really wanted to do, was it?
No, not ideally. We'll get the pros to do it.
One turn out of the street and then here we are. So it's a very long journey. Ta-da! Anti-flat kit. Looks good, hey?
It's alright, yeah, done a good job.
Ah, so that's how it's
That's your main bar there. The
hinged on.
Clamps on.
And then we've got 4 brackets. Oh, so they've done it up there. Is it sturdy?
Still a lot of movement up there. But I guess, yeah, that's just the way it is. Well, these sides don't flap anymore. That's
Yeah.
clamped on.
Nice. So it's connected there. And then hooked up there, there's a little bracket up there. So he's just screwed in little brackets and then that's clipped on there. So the actual sticky hole things have been drilled in here. Yeah. So what we're opting for in our cupboards is hanging shelves, because Dan found pretty much straight away that he wasn't a fan of these, so this is how they were. Now I wanted this because I wear a lot of dresses, but what I would find is when I hung my dresses, they were so long I'd have to double them over, which meant double as thick, and I could only fit about 6 things on here anyway. So while we were away, Dan found this in an op shop, and so he was hanging up his things there. And in IKEA I found these. They're actually from the kids section, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves plus that little one which we don't think we're going to be able to get to.
Right, so I've got to move the bar pretty much. So the bar's at that height there. So if I was to fit it, that's how high it'd be.
So we lose access to one.
So what I want to do,
bottom 2.
I want to at least bring it up to there.
Yeah.
So it goes from there. And we want to get it to at least to that point there.
Can you go back down a bit? Yeah, see, yeah. So we lose access to that second bottom shelf, but when it goes up, we get another shelf. Yeah.
I can't go all the way up because I wouldn't be able to get into the bar. It would be nice if we could get it all the way up to there, but that's alright. Go to there, and then you've still got a slot on the top. You can shove a few things in if we need to.
Good day.
So all I've done is I've taken that bracket off, the original bracket, and I'm just going to move it roughly to about there. Screw that in. That's it, simple. So that's what it looks like when it's all finished. Just moved it up a little bit higher so you can get the extra height, you get that extra shelf in. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad actually.
Perfect.
Should make it a lot easier to organise.
Your turn now. we got some lunch, and the lady in there said, we've got some cakes that have to go today, and she was showing us them, and I said, how much are they? And she said they're free. So we're not cake
So we had
people.
we had a pick of all these awesome cakes. We chose that one because it's the smallest. We felt like we're not going to get through it all, but
We're not cake people, but when someone says, would you like a free vegan cake? What do? You say yes.
So when we did our training course, we were advised by Wayne. He said a good thing to get is a tyre pressure monitor, especially for the caravan, because on the car, if you get a flat tyre or a blowout as you're driving, you know about it, whereas on the caravan, if you get a blowout, you can be dragging it for many kilometres down the road. So we went out and got one of these. It's handy, just being solar powered, you don't have to plug it in either, so I just keep it up on the dash, up on here, so I'll just show you. It just sits there like that. And yeah, it just gives you a readout of all the tyre pressures, which I actually need to adjust because they're a bit high. And yeah, it gives you the temperature of the tyres there as well, and you can set an alarm on it. So if you did get a blowout, or even if the tyre pressure goes down, you can set your alarm to go off at a set pressure. So I've got mine set to alarm if it gets down to 42, I think, and then if it gets up to 55, it'll alarm as well. So yeah, nice little device, handy, and could potentially save us from disasters. So this is all you have on your wheel. It's just screws onto your pressure valve, and that just transmits a signal to the receiver and tells you what the tyre pressure is. So it's nice and easy. It comes with a nut, a locking nut that goes behind the valve, so you screw that on and the locking nut backs off onto it, and then that stops anyone from just pulling it off and stealing it.
Did you like that cake?
It was a yummy cake, but I think I'm paying the price for eating a quarter of it.
We don't have a lot of sweet food.
I thought it was a good idea. It'd be a free cake. And now we've had it. We've eaten it a lot.
We didn't eat the whole thing.
No, we ate a half of that whole thing. Now we're suffering. We're in a cake coma right now. So
No more cake
no
again.
More cake.
No more cake.
Ever.
But thank you, Flower of Life. It was really yummy. On next week's episode, we are finally off. We say goodbye to the Gold Coast, and our first stop is Sunshine Coast at Alex Beach. We go to our favourite cafe in the world, Cafe V, 3 times. Kawana is the best park run we've done so far this year, and you'll see why. Why is Dan on our roof? And Rainbow Beach spoils us with beautiful sunsets. Thanks for watching.